Hi, Dan. Hi, Dan. How you doing? Okay, we got it. Oh, we've got more people on here than I thought. You were the only one doing the howdy doodies. Anybody else on here? Let's see what we've got. Everybody's being kind of quiet today, huh? Okay, well, we'll wait a few more minutes. Tell me some highs, whatever. Dan always lets me know he's here, huh? I like that. Okay, so let me go over a couple things. It looks like, oh, well, I'll save that later for some of the others, but I know Dan, you'll like it. Do you see my little cymbidium orchid blooming here? I thought I'd share that with you guys. Well, it looks like we just lost a bunch of people. Either they hated it or something. But anyway, let's see what we got to talk about here today. Oh, hi, Susan. How are you doing, sweetheart? Good to see you. Okay, let's see what we've got going on here, and we'll get a heads up over some people, huh? Let me see where to start until we get some people on here. I'm not going to go with the big one yet. All right, here's one. Let's see. I'm going to switch over to this fine fellow here. Let's make sure you've got him. Okay, yeah, you're seeing him. All right, so this person here, his name is Moise Santaran, and he's a 37-year-old Haitian national. He was paroled into the U.S. in September 2023 under the Biden administration's Haitian humanitarian parole program. So there was a Haitian humanitarian parole program to let parolees into the United States. Are you even believing this? Anyway, this guy faces charges now to pay for his crimes, of additional crimes, actually, from incidents on July 17th and August 1st, just a few days ago. He received work authorization in December 2023 and was allowed to stay until June 2025, but he remained illegally after the Trump administration ended the program in April 2025. DHS has placed an ICE detainer on him now, and they are confirming coordination with local authorities for potential removal, while the case prompts online calls for stricter enforcement. Now, let's see what this guy did, though. That's what we're missing here, right? What did this poor Moises do? Well, he is charged with raping, sodomizing women in Utah. Let's see if we can find something. Utah's third world violent crime immigration gang. And that's just somebody making a comment. So this is Biden's parole program. And let's see if we've got it here. Okay. This is actually by Homeland Security. So, all right, so that's what we've got. This guy came in here on some program that Biden had. Let's just ask here, what specifically was the Haitian parole program by Biden administration? Let's see. All these little things. So it says the primary Haitian parole program associated with the Biden administration is the processes for Cubans, Haitians, Nicaraguans, and Venezuelans humanitarian parole process that was announced and expanded in January 2023. There is also the longer-standing Haitian family reunification parole program that was created in 2014, which Biden modernized. Basically, the program was modeled on earlier processes for Venezuelans in 2022 during Biden and for Ukrainians. Let's see. It aimed at creating a safe and orderly pathway, legal pathway for people from these countries facing crisis, like you're going to be arrested for rape and sodomy, maybe, I don't know, while discouraging irregular border crossings. So, right, If you're a murderer, a rapist, don't worry. You don't have to sneak into our country. Just come in because we don't want you to have to sneak in. We'll let you in, is basically what it said. Up to 30,000 people per month across the 4 countries could receive advanced travel authorization. The requirements were you had to be a national of Haiti or an immediate family member. Oh, gosh. You had to have a U.S.-based supporter, which we know money can buy any of those, who filed a I-134A, which anybody can do, saying, I'll support this person, then try to find them. And then you have to pass security. This is the weird thing. Now, you're being paroled for a crime so that you can come to the U.S. and get out of their hair, that country's hair, but you're passing a security clearance of some kind and a public vetting. Luckily, if you notice this, including biometrics. So we have these people's fingerprints or DNA. Generally not have been ordered removed in the prior 5 years or entered unlawfully between ports of entry after the relevant notice date. It warrants a favorable exercise of discretion. Unaccompanied minors were generally ineligible. Oh, so I see. If you were under 18 and you were a criminal, then you weren't allowed. But you are over 18 and you're a criminal, and welcome in. In fact, we'll give you some money. Hi, Mark. How you doing? Let's see what else we got here. Wood chipper. Okay. Let's see. Oprah, Kuru voodoo monster. Isn't she? I mean, absolutely. You know, and the thing is, I know family members who just adored her. For some reason, you know, I never got into her. I didn't have suspicions about her because I heard about the whole thing, how she got pregnant or was molested at an early age, had a child. They all go on your compassion. You're going to find that compassion is a critical component of being duped in this world, guys. And I'm not saying don't be compassionate. Of course not. We must be. But what I'm saying is that we have to develop that sixth sense so that we can't be manipulated. We have to put around that shield telling the universe that we will not be manipulated. So compassion is a great thing until they use it against you. All right, let's see what else we got here besides Moisa. Now, here's another one. It's kind of slow here, so I'll still wait for the big one. On the 30th anniversary of that TWA flight 800, I don't know if you guys remember that. I don't know if I can get any pictures on that here. Let's just see something here. TWA flight 800. This is the one that numerous people, Judicial Watch has got something on it. No, there's actually not a whole lot. Oh, is this it? Yeah, there you go. Okay. It's Tom Fitton again. Let me shut that down, the sound, because we don't want any problems there. Okay, so I missed it. Let's go up here. 30 years later, TWA. It's hitting the headline some. Let me just show you the. Oh, it's taken off. It looks like it was. This is it. Yeah. Oh, let's look at this one. Let's see what we got here, guys. Little video here. Anybody remember that? One more time. That's TW flight. The whole front of that plane went down. Okay. So here's the deal with TWA 800. It was 30 years ago on July 17th. that crash killed all 230 people aboard. Now, this isn't the one that was that had the scientists on it, or the tech pros on it, or even the remember the one with the athletes on it for some match that was going on. None of those. This one became famous because numerous people talked about reported missile-like streaks in their eyewitness views of what was happening on the sky. Now, that was obviously before the front blew up in that thing, because I didn't see anything going up and hitting it. But numerous people did, so much that the FBI New York field office opened an investigation into the crash under immediate priority. Now, Tom Fitton, under Judicial Watch, did a Freedom of Information request, and he got a fax from Cairo claiming credit for that Flight 800 explosion. And that memo, or that fax, was sent just 2 days after the crash. Now, the official findings were that it was a fuel tank that exploded from an electrical short. But eyewitnesses say no way. Something, a DEW hit that thing, a direct energy weapon or something hit, or a missile or something hit that thing. In fact, the CIA went so far as to produce an animation video that was publicly aired by the FBI, explaining that the eyewitness reports were post-explosion trajectories and fire, not a missile. As a result of that conclusion, the FBI announced, as a result of the CIA video, that they were officially closing the investigation in November 1997, which was a year and a quarter after the explosion occurred. So if you can see, guys, the FBI and the CIA have been in cahoots for a very long time. The two major intelligence agencies in our country have been in cahoots. And you know, it's also back much further than that. Susan remembers that flight. Yep. I always wondered who was on that flight that the deep state didn't want to live. I tried to find that, Susan, and I searched through it. And of course, if it is, it's buried deep. But, and Tom Fitton apparently didn't get it, or he would have blabbed. So it was something by Cairo now, is what we know, is what he's released. And I'll look at that. In fact, let me, I don't know if you guys are on X or not. I can leave something there on X of a post of Fitton's most recent. But no, he's on all the different mediums. So you can go anywhere and find Tom Fitton. Where he's Judicial Watch is what he is. Okay. All right. Let's see what else we've got here. This might be a really small group, guys. Susan, Mystifying Mark, Den, and we got somebody on there who's still kind of quiet in the background. Tim might be popping in and out. I don't know. But okay. Oh, and me, maybe it counts as me. I don't know. Okay. So here we go. Next thing that I had here for you. I don't get this, guys. I do not get this. Hawaii is really having its problems with Democratic candidates. If you remember last week, we talked about 5 officials in Hawaii that were indicted for a fraudulent scheme that was somehow related to election fraud there and bribes. Well, now there's a guy named Kirill Basin, who's running in Hawaii's 2nd Congressional District Democratic primary against a woman named Jill Takuda. They're both Democrats, but this is on August 8th that they have to face this. Anyway, this guy, Kirill Basin, is now facing 2 counts of first-degree terroristic threatening after he threatened a 61-year-old man over loud music at the beach. Bassin has had previous arrests for assault and property damage, so this isn't his first rodeo either. We are finding more and more congressional candidates have arrest rap sheets and mental illness backgrounds. Remember that that other one in, where is she? Jersey now, I think, that has another Democrat's coming out with all kinds of mental illness coming out about her. This is why it's important for you guys to do your homework. But one thing that could help you guys, even if you can't necessarily look up a lot of information, maybe you just ought to look at a picture of the candidate, because this is this guy here that we're talking about. First, I'm going to show you a video of part of what he did, and then I'm going to show you a close-up of the candidate. And you tell me how this guy is going to run for Congress and who in the world will vote for him. Here you go. Did I switch it? Yeah. Okay, where do you see this guy? So here he is, our congressional...
Girls, right? You're talking about my girls, right?
I don't care.
Don't do that, dude. Don't do that.
What are you gonna do?
Go ahead. Just go.
What are you gonna do?
Don, go ahead.
Am I? I didn't fucking put him in the ground. I didn't put him in the ground. I put him in the ground. I can't. All right.
Oh, you're gonna hit women now.
Let's go, bro.
Go ahead.
I'm good.
Let him
Do
have
it,
his
motherfucker.
I'll just say
Mike,
All right, good. It's over. It's over.
He's a child.
I'm a child. I'm 40 fucking years old.
You should act like it then.
You will be in the fucking hospital, bitch. Let's go.
Oh, shit.
Chair thrower.
Wake up.
Okay, so we'll stop there, but I want to show you a little close-up. So basically, as you can see, this congressional candidate who doesn't have the composure to even just shut up and let people play music at the beach. So how much freedom do people in Hawaii think they're going to get with this guy? Let me show you. You tell me how they're going to fix this guy up to run for candidate. That's him right there. I have no idea what that is in his beard. Basically, he's got your, can I do it? Let's see. No, this right here is a mom tattoo. I have no idea what this is, except a little pincher going to his nipple. He's got a pierced nipple over here. Who knows what here? Another tattoo here. Tattoos down here. So this is our Congress, your lawmakers at work. So just drop down there, guys. How many of you would like to vote for that guy? I don't know how it's going to be done. Hi, Don. You're having a thunderstorm. We haven't had ours yet, but it's been bad during the week. I have my little, can you see my little cymbidium orchid there for guys? I got one little orchid blooming, but I have some big ones, some real nice big ones and stuff. I know Susan's not going to vote for him, but don't you wonder who in the world can possibly be voting for these people? There's our beautiful Tahoe. Hi, sweetheart. You doing okay? There she is. So I want to show you, Tahoe, since you missed it, real quick, we'll show you. This is a guy who's running for Congress, Democrat in, yeah, I know, my flower. It's not a hibiscus, but I have some of those too, Mark. Let me show you this guy that's running, love you too, sweetheart, for Congress in Hawaii. You tell me if you'd vote for this guy. And the reason that he came up in the news today, the headlines, besides this little nipple ring right here, is because I'm surprised he doesn't have the nose ring, aren't you guys? Apparently, he became very unruly. We showed the video a minute ago, so you can watch it on the playback. But apparently, he was irritated by some people on the beach that were playing a radio. And he attacked the guy with a beach chair and also pulled out a knife on him. And this is our leaders at work in Hawaii. Okay, so sometimes I know these live streams, I'm still working with getting the whole being able to run this live stream without being cut off numerous times. Okay, so that's so that we've covered a couple things. Watch the beginning again so we don't have to do that. All right, now let's see. Oh, here's a good one. Here's a good one. All right, we got another beauty here. Hold on, let me find this guy's picture for you. So apparently, people coming in on hold on, let me get rid of this guy here. People coming in on this parole program that Biden allowed parolees from other countries to come in on. Besides that, we also have more. We have illegal aliens that are in positions of power besides politics. These people could arrest you. Now check this one out. Got to go back here. All right. This young man looks like a fine, upstanding young man, huh? Okay. Anyway, he's an undocumented immigrant from Montenegro. I didn't even look where that was, but isn't that Spain, somewhere over in that area? He overstayed his visa by over a decade, but he was still sworn in as a police officer, issued a firearm, and enrolled in the pension fund in Illinois in January 2025 before ICE arrested him. So we're paying for pension funds for illegals. Can you even believe this? How many of you have pension funds and are okay with giving it to illegals? I have a state pension, and I'm just infuriated by it. So are you getting this, guys? Americans are being arrested now by illegal immigrants. And if this were the only case, well, it wouldn't be a problem. But another Jamaican national who overstayed his visa was serving as a reserve officer in the Old Orchard Beach, Maine reserves. He was arrested in July 2025. Then a Cameroon national with a deportation, let me take his picture down because we don't want it to apply to people that aren't him. Okay, then a Cameroon national with a deportation order was a New Orleans police officer, fit right in, and he was recruited and had been issued his firearm. He was arrested in early 2026. So this is still occurring, guys. They're still in there. A Liberian national, Liberia, okay, national worked as a Minnesota correction officer in prisons who allegedly overstayed his visa, and he lied and said he was a U.S. citizen. He was arrested around early 2026 as well. So there are also claims of dozens or more non-citizens that are hired as correction officers in places like King County, Washington State. And this was reported by various whistleblowers. Occupational data, if you can go to the state's occupational data, it does exist for immigrants, actually. And they have one analysis that noted about 80,000 immigrants are serving as detectives or police officers around 2021, plus hundreds of thousands in broader protective service roles, such as security guards and so forth. Unfortunately, the figures with the government don't separate illegal immigrants from legal immigrants. So it's basically useless data. They're not collecting anything that we really need. However, California, Colorado, Illinois, Washington, and New Mexico have all expanded their eligibility for sworn law enforcement, aka armed and dangerous, to include certain non-citizens like DACA recipients, who are the dreamers. So that's another one, that new information that we have, that illegal aliens, hi Patricia, illegal aliens are getting pensions, getting guns, and working to arrest you. Okay, now we've got a good one. We've got Fauci connection, another Fauci connection. I did the one video on Dr. Fauci and the whole COVID thing, and his testimony of the infinite pleading the fifth episodes. Well, I also am working on Dr. Fauci's I'm also working on Dr. Fauci's input, oversight, manipulation involved in what went down with the AIDS pandemic. Do you remember AIDS way back when it was first happening, and we were afraid, scared to death of the AIDS epidemic, scared to even talk to somebody who had AIDS. Those people were terribly isolated by society in general, just like the elderly people were in COVID. And I remember I always felt bad because I had an AIDS patient. I was working in a retail pharmacy at the time. And this was after, I believe, no, this was before I had worked at Moffitt Cancer Center, who also did AIDS research. We had a lot of AIDS patients there. But this was very early on when it was first happening, and I had an AIDS patient. Well, the right, the 1980s. The way it went down was this guy's wife would always come in and get these prescriptions, and they had been my patients for many, many years. I had been at this place a number of years. And so they were my patients for a number of years, and the wife always came in for the scripts. And then I started seeing some very strange prescriptions for a young man. He was in his 20s, I believe, for a young man that just weren't common drugs. A lot of antifungals, antivirals, and so forth, and then the dreaded AZT. And I said to her, I think her name was Sharon, and I said, and his was Darren. Wow. Isn't it amazing how things come back? Anyway, I said, Sharon, what in the heck is going on with Darren? I said, do you need any help with these medications or anything? And that's when she confessed that he's been diagnosed with AIDS, and it was from IV drug use. So, of course, he was always in my heart. I always was sad. And I had met him once or twice. But like I said, I met her and dealt with her most of the time. Anyway, one day, Darren came walking into the pharmacy, and I could see all the way down the aisle to the front entrance of the door, out my glass windows there, my little fishbowl. And I see Darren, and he's walking so slowly with a cane, and he's walking back, and it took him forever, and he came back to the pharmacy. And he said, I just wanted to come and see you and thank you for asking about me and taking care of me and so forth. And we chatted for a few minutes, which is odd in the retail pharmacy business that you even have a moment. But of course, I saw that man struggling to get down that aisle just to see me. He wasn't shopping in that store. He came to see me. And so I didn't care. I said to my text, I'll be there in a minute. Just give people a longer wait. I want to have a few minutes to myself here. And at the end of our conversation, Darren looked at me and he said, would you mind me if I kissed you on the cheek? And I said, of course not, Darren, of course not. So I just leaned over. I let him kiss me on the cheek. I watched him walk out of the pharmacy. And the first thing I did was run into the bathroom and wash my face. And this is what we were dealing with. We had no idea we were ripe for this whole thing. So you're going to notice in this next video that I'm going to be doing about Fauci's input into the whole AIDS epidemic, that there was more to it than just Fauci. He wasn't the only one. In fact, his daughter actually his daughter Allison Fauci worked at Twitter before Musk took over. She worked at Twitter during the whole COVID pandemic. And it is believed that it's been alleged that she personally silenced critics, illustrated by a meme image with a fabricated quote that she never made. But Allison Fauci, it's important to know that she worked as a software engineer at Twitter from 2014. And what was her job? Android ads. So she was in there. She was able to determine who got to speak and who didn't. Anthony Fauci has confirmed that she worked for Twitter in his 2022 deposition, but he stated that not once did her and him ever discuss content moderation or anything about topics. Now tell me this, guys. Which family in America didn't discuss COVID with their family members and friends? Tell me that. Is there anybody, can they stick up their hand and say, I never spoke about COVID one time with any of my friends or family? I can't imagine that. So right there, you know he's lying through his teeth, but that's nothing new. So Of course, the AI will tell you that there's been no public evidence that links her directly to any censorship decisions. Of course not. That's going to come in internal memos and so forth, which don't be surprised if we don't have them since Musk took it over. And you might be seeing that. What we do know, though, and it has been revealed that Twitter did suppress the lab leak theories, the early treatments such as ivermectin. And what was the other one? I forget what the other one was. And vaccine skepticism that aligned with the government guidance that we were receiving from her father. So they never talked about it. They just were so intuitively in sync that they knew what kind of information needed to be disseminated about the COVID-19 pandemic. She should be brought up on charges. And don't be surprised if she isn't, Susan. You remember AIDS was running my beauty salon then. I made a conscious decision not to worry. Exactly. Remember being hydroxychloroquine. Thank you, Patricia. I remember going into stores, Walmart or whatever, and being kicked out because I refused to put a mask on me. In fact, my little niece, who was at the time less than 5 years old, and she walked in, and my nephew, who is his custodial parent, walked into Walmart, I think it was, and they wanted him to put on a mask, and he said, absolutely not. And the woman said, well, it's for your protection. And my little niece at that young age stands up and she says, God protects me. I don't need any protection. And even the young know. I mean, they knew intuitively it was a wrong thing. You were trying to spell it hydroxychlor. Actually, it's wrong. It was you have hydro. No, it's, if I'm not mistaken, which I could be, hydroxychloroquine was the proper thing. Did I? Yeah. Let me double check that, make sure I don't. Yeah, hydroxychloroquine is, it has an E on the end, sorry. So that's what the other drug was that actually I gave my mom during the pandemic when she got it. Poor spell. Hey, there's our girl. Okay, you, Missy, Miss Helen Wheels, okay? I can't find your email anywhere to arrange a meeting. So what I want you to do is I want you to send me your email to info. I'm going to put this up there. Okay, that's for Helen. I want you to send that, your email to info@xpharmacon so I can have your email address. And if you want, put your phone number. We can talk about it. I thought I had yours in the system from X-Pharmacon, but apparently I don't. I can't find it anywhere. So please, please, please send me a message and we'll meet up. Tell me what you have. I like fun stuff. Who knows? Oh, you would think, no, don't post it here. Not necessary. Post it there. And then I'll email you from my private address, and we'll talk or whatever. We'll talk on the phone. Think about some fun things to do. And if any of you are coming down to Florida, we can meet up. I'm on the southwest coast. But I don't know. I'll look at some ideas. Maybe we'll do a live stream about it if you want to do one, or maybe you don't want to do one, but maybe you can be there and not be in the picture. There's all kinds of things that we can do. I'm just really anxious about meeting you, and I apologize. I have been trying to find that email address and can't. So I'll be looking forward to that. Okay, so let's see. I don't have, I refuse to put on a mask even going into Publix. Absolutely, Susan. I absolutely agree. Susan, if you want to meet up with us, drop an email to that as well, because I know you're local too. Okay. Oh, you're going to the West Coast soon, maybe as soon as next week. Oh, then it might be. How long are you going to be gone? Just call it HCQ. Exactly. You can make it naturally from grapefruits and lemons. Wow, really? I didn't know that. Extracting it? Hold on. Is hydroxychloroquine present produced by the by lemon. Boy, that would be amazing, wouldn't it? Oh, lemons and grapefruits. That's odd. That's odd. Lemons and produced by lemons and grapefruits. I never heard that one. No, it cannot be made from lemons and grapefruit. It's synthesized in a lab. That's what I thought. It's not a natural product in any way. It was strictly synthetically, chemically synthesized. Oh, there's peels. Okay, let's see. Well, it says it's completely synthesized. Is there any hydroxychloroquine in the peels of grapefruit or lemons, or is it converted in some way? I always understood it to be completely synthetic, Big Pharma. There is no hydroxychloroquine in the peels of grapefruits or lemons. It is completely synthetic medication used for specific medical conditions. They don't contain this drug or any of its derivatives. Let's see. Okay, let's see. You know where this may be coming from, guys? This is something that we commonly see. I'll look. I see you. See, you're got some more things about it. I'll look there. But this is what we commonly see. Grapefruit and citrus does interact with a lot of drugs. So, in fact, sometimes very seriously in bad responses, like with Pacerone and Cortisone, which killed my dad, by the way. So that could have something to do with it. How it affects it, blocks certain enzymes. So the way it usually works is it blocks certain enzymes which break down drugs, which results in the increase of those drugs in your body, right? So it specifically attacks some kind of enzyme. So let me see what you guys have. Oh, you're coming to my area maybe next week. Oh, cool. Okay, great. Wait, we're still doing this. Okay, gotcha. I thought you meant the West Coast of California, and I was going to say, what are you going over there for? Okay, the peels. Okay, so nothing in the peels. Grapefruit and lemon peels, boiled. Guys, there is nothing. If you can find me, there is, Susan, it's synthetically made in the lab. You can't make it with food. I've never heard such a thing. You make it with the rain. What is the rain? Let's see. Let me continue that. Some people say that it can be made because the chemistry isn't there. If it's not in the peels or the grapefruits, boiling could change the chemical structure into something, but it did say that there were no derivatives made by boiling the peels with something called RAYNE. Ever heard of that? All right, let's see. Never know. Yeah, what doctors shared on a podcast? Got to know who that is. My all-natural doctor says never take citrus drinks with supplements or drugs. That's right. It's a pH thing, Susan, because of the acid in them. Now, I'm not saying never, because what I can tell you is that I take a blood supplement. Let me remove this for a second. I take a blood supplement because I still think it's from the Army and something that occurred there, and it's also with my dad. Maybe it's my lineage before I came here to this place. But I have to have a blood supplement of some kind because there's something in my blood that eats up my blood cells. And we both, from childhood, I had numerous tests of every kind. My dad had numerous tests of every kind. And modern science doesn't have a clue what it is. So anyway, I do take a blood builder supplement by, that brand I recommend all the time. Hold on. Mega vitamins. Meta Foods, I think it is. Yeah, Meta Foods. Comes to me eventually, just a little slow on the uptake here, guys. Yeah, it's Meta Foods. So I use them. They're really clean stuff. They're plant-based vitamins, so they're not as strong. But what I do take is a vitamin C, because vitamin C does increase the absorption of B12. So for somebody to say that, never take them is not right. It's just not an accurate thing to say. Never take citrus drinks. Everything is different, guys. I don't know how to express this to you, but biochemistry is such a complex science. And in fact, I made that on one of my videos, the one I'm working about with AIDS, okay? That we don't know anything really about medicine, guys. What we know is how to suppress symptoms. We don't know anything about how to stop disease. And if we do, then it's really criminal, because they should have done something about it a long time ago. But there's been so little funded study. It's not because we can't find out. We certainly can. It's just that the studies aren't there, and hopefully we'll be seeing more and more of it soon. But always remember something, guys, especially in medicine. Never use absolutes. Never, never, never. Something is not always bad to take, and something is not always good to take. The body is so intricate. There are literally millions of processes going on at any one time. So understand that it's not so simple as people make it seem. So let's see. Let's come back to what our little thing is. Let me switch to this screen so you can see the result that came up. Which one is it? Okay, it's the second one. So let me come up here. Here we go, guys. You can follow along. How's that? I thought wrong screen. Hold on. That was the screen before the answer. The screen now on hydroxychloroquine. Here we go. All right, so basically I said, after we went through, is there any hydroxychloroquine in the peels of the grapefruits, lemons? Is it converted in some way? No. Again, it's synthetic, which is consistent with what I know. Some people say it can be made by boiling the peels with something called rain. Ever heard of that? I've heard variations of this kind of claim. People invent a chemical or method name, but there's no credible evidence that you can make hydroxychloroquine or hydroxychloroquine-related compounds. That's what I'm thinking, is that they were saying there were related compounds. And again, just because something is in the same chemical family doesn't mean that it does the same thing. Keep that in mind. So even if it was a related compound, it's insane for people. That's bad medicine is what I call it. There's no credible evidence by boiling citrus peels with something called rain. It's a specific synthetic drug made by a multi-step chemical synthesis in controlled industrial condition labs. Boiling lemon or grapefruit peel in water or mixing with any household additive can extract plant compounds. So that is a valid way to if there's a compound in a plant, that's a valid way to remove that compound. But it does not generate the drug's molecular structure in any way. If you tell me what rain is supposed to be, a product name, ingredient list, chemical form, I can explain what it is and why it would or wouldn't make anything like hydroxychloroquine. So if you guys happen to know that, but what I'm going to say is, for Susan, can you give me the exact synthesis trail briefly, or in a graphic form. All right. So let's see if any of you guys know. Oh, it can't prove. Oh, okay. So it can't provide an exact synthesis step by step. It can give us a brief, non-actionable, high-level overview of how it's made. And of course, that's because it's trade secrets is why they can't give it to us. It's produced through multi-step organic chemical synthesis that builds a heterocyclic core. Remember those, what do they call them? Those round six-sided cyclical compounds that is the core of a lot of science. And then it takes those, and they're very labile, and it introduces a side chain that contains the hydroxylated portion. Each step uses controlled reagents and purification. The final drug is then formulated. And then it says, if you want to say what rain is, let's see, does anybody know what rain is? Okay, Donald came up with the rain. Doctor shared it on a podcast. Well, I would think twice about that, Dr. Patricia. And like I said, we covered you, Susan. Peels of the Rhine was shared at the time of COVID. Yeah, there was a lot of stuff shared at the time of COVID, guys. People were desperate. And there was also a lot of misinformation in there. You got to remember that the deep state, the dark ones, love to make liars out of the light, right? So they will. I can tell you, I know for a fact that they plant deliberate disinformation masquerading as MAGA or patriots. Because when that shows to not be true, then they've discredited what's happening on, in COVID times, that supported the use of the remdesivir and all their solutions they had for it. Okay, so to plant misinformation doesn't surprise me at all. We're trying to hold too much information in our heads. Must capture the vapor when boiled. I can say from personal experience, it will make you cough up anything in your lungs. Okay, so that I believe, but that's a totally different thing, Dan. Don't you remember, my grandmother used to put Vicks, which Vicks had that camphor in it, right? And she'd put Vicks in water with a towel over my head for congestion. It went all the way down into your chest, your head. Just the steam particles alone will break up congestion. So that doesn't tell me that it did anything. But yes, that I would say that's a completely different thing. Let's just check that right here. Will lemon peel steam from boiling relieve congestion? And it could have been effective from a broader standpoint. It says it isn't likely to relieve it in a meaningful way. It says steam can temporarily soothe and thin the mucus. And why? But that's because it's watering it down, right? And that makes it easier to breathe from a moisture standpoint. It wasn't the lemon peel. That it could have scent, irritants, but they generally don't have strong evidence of treating the congestion themselves. And then, of course, we know saline, and like I said, the camphor, honey is something that's used for lots of things. But there were definitely, there was no hydroxychloroquine in that. You couldn't get them, and that infuriates me that people would say that you could. All right, let's see, because we're trying to hold too much. Some meds have a warning not to take it. Exactly, Helen. Let me change this back. See, she's got it. Now, keep in mind, guys, I know none of us want to get involved with Big Pharma any more than we have to. Sometimes we have to, okay? If you're getting, I'm not saying never use, in this day and age, I'm not saying never to use it, okay? But what I am saying is that you have to understand that a pharmacy, while they might not be forthcoming, while the commercials may not say a specific thing happens with the drug as they're trying to sell it to you, what you should, unless you have a really busy pharmacist lazy, busy pharmacy, because the techs are the ones that have fixed those colored labels on the side. Remember, take with food, don't take with food, take it on an empty stomach, don't drive with this, it can cause dizziness. All those warnings in those little colored labels, they're there for the pharmacy's liability. So that's when that should be on there, because some drugs are actually enhanced by acidic environments. So hi Timmy. He can't tune in today because he needs his phone for the GPS. Heaven forbid that work has to interfere with this, right? Hi, sweetie. I love you. Yes. Know what the rind is. It's that outer part, the peel. Actually, it's that part inside that is white. And I always do them. Let's just ask so that we don't make that a complete thing. Can you give me some of the health benefits of the rind of citrus, specifically of each citrus? Let's just see. Maybe there's different ones, huh? I always, when I eat it in a chart form, I always make sure I eat that rind. Here we go. All right, now you want to know if the rinds are any good? Here we go. Let me just look at your things here. Happy. During the COVID vaccine, the snakes were, I think it's a snake, lie pushing by the deep state, MCM. I'm sure that's the media. We're putting down horse dewormer ivermectin, saying it was poison. Ivermectin got it. It didn't get a Nobel Peace Prize because it was studied well. Let's put it that way. And I am not a big believer of eating horse paste. And here's the reason why. Because if you take it in tiny amounts, but the problem is that that's made for a 2,000-pound animal. And it's very easy to overdose. I know pharmacists that have overdosed by miscalculation. So, I just, again, if you're looking for somebody to say, take drugs, you've got the wrong pharmacist. Because I will be honest when I think that there's nothing in nature, although nature has something for everything, even cancer. The problem is it doesn't work fast enough, guys. When we have cancer, when we have diarrhea, when we have nausea, when we have anything, an infection, we need quick treatment. We need a quick response to that. And that's why when you're talking about natural medicine, that is why preparation and more of a routine, a lifestyle. That's why you will see a lifestyle. It's not pop an orange in your mouth and you're going to get better. Nature takes a long time, guys. Remember that. Okay. Oh, we got all right. So let me finish this up real quick. But then we have to address Tahoe here. Okay. Stick with us, sweetheart. All right. So what I want to do is show you this. All right. So there are benefits to the rinds of lemon, lime, orange, grapefruit, mandarin, all of them. Look at this. There's flavonoids in there, vitamin C amounts inside the food. So let's look here. Antioxidant, anti-inflammatory effects that were actually seen in lab studies. The peel has essential oils that can support digestion. Right here. I'll show you. I'll take that off for a second. Okay. What I have today, okay, it looks a little yellow, but there's a reason. It's my homemade lemonade, and what it's got in it is my filtered water, some lemon juice, and a tablespoonful of Manuka honey. And that's my lemonade. And it's delish, guys. It's healthy. And if we go back to this, we'll see that lemon, now, of course, this is the juice, but it also has similar things, anti-inflammatory effects, digestive support, and so forth. You look at limes. I drink a lot of lime juice also. Again, antioxidants. Antioxidants, guys. One of the biggest problems that we have. Make sure we got this on for you guys to see. If you would like me to, I will put a copy of this chart in the description for you, so you can print it out, copy it, hang it, whatever. So yeah, you've got that there. So so I was talking about, I do my lime juice. Oh, antioxidants. Okay, here's the thing, guys. A lot of these chemicals in our food, in the plastics and so forth, cause oxidation, which causes damage to our cells. We've talked about that, our mitochondria and so forth. And all disease is at least irritated, if not in some way related to oxidative damage. So that's why eating antioxidants are so important. But they're all over, guys. They're all over. You don't have to buy an antioxidant pill. Eat blueberries. Have lemon juice. Have lime juice. There's a million things. Eat other berries. There's a million things where you can get antioxidants that help your body fight off the oxidative damage of what we eat and the ingredients in them. So don't for one, that's why I'm not big, because in addition, right, and I've said this before and I'm going to say it again until it sinks in. In addition, that pill has more than just, if you're buying an antioxidant, more than just the components that it's talking about, no matter what those components are. It's got chemicals that were used in extracting that from whatever source it used. It's got fillers in there, in the way of starches that you're eating. A pill is not a pill because it that's all the medicine that's in that pill or that capsule. No, 90% of that is filler, guys, starches, okay? The rest, little tiny bit. And we would put them, when I would do compounding, and you'd put such a tiny little amount in a alcohol or water, depending on its solubility, and make tablets out of them, mix it with starch, but very little of it was the actual active ingredient. So let's just go back to that again. We'll run past them real quick because I think it's important just to name them. So have some lemon juice, have some lime juice if you want antioxidant activity. And right there, your lime juice, it says the compounds in it may be soothing during congestion for some people. Oranges, they also have the flavonoids, notably, which is a good one, hesperidin, okay? And it has essential oils. It has antioxidant effects. And they're being studied, actually, these limonoids right here, the second ingredient that you're seeing there, they're being studied currently for cancer-related pathways, metabolic and cancer-related pathways. But if you'll notice here, it's mostly early research. Why is that? That's because Trump has made a mandate to research this stuff, to start looking for natural remedies for things. Also, keep in mind, Big Pharma is losing billions by Anthony Fauci and what happened with the distrust in the medical system from this guy. So they are also now putting research into natural components. However, what you have to remember is that they will make a supplement as a natural product for you, and it's still Big Pharma making it for you. Grapefruit has got the flavonoids. Also, Naringin, which is in there, okay, one of them, and it also has the limonoid, is widely studied for metabolism-related effects. Again, the antioxidants. If you like tangerines or mandarins, antioxidants for anti-inflammatory and metabolic support. Sweet lime, bitter orange, bergamot, which is also used as peels. Now, these are different flavonoids, if you notice. The bergamot has specific supplement research, lipid-related outcomes reported in some studies. So lipid-related is fat. It doesn't tell you exactly what those outcomes are, but if it's being studied, it may be lipids. Let's see. See, again, they've already got supplements coming out on these things. Have a drink and put bitter orange in the top of your drink. I mean, come on, guys. Key lime, kumquat. The peel is eaten. They also have the flavonoids, mostly antioxidants. The plant compound benefits Whole fruit, including the peel, provides fiber. And that is, the peel is more commonly eaten in kumquats than they are others, but of course you have to wash it because of the other stuff. Quick practical takeaway: you can make flavoring or teas, or even use it in your house to make your house smaller. Ever throw lemon rinds down the garbage disposal? And when Tim makes his morning drink of lemon and ginger, the house just smells so great when I come down in the morning after he's left, because he leaves like 4 o'clock in the morning. It smells so fresh in the house when I come down after that. So that's all we need to know about that. You can use it in your cooking. Don't take pills, guys. Don't take pills. Okay, pills by any other name are still pills. Okay, and Donald doesn't take any. Good for you. Not needed. Same with me. Same with me. All right. Yeah, Tony, they're masking up again. Masking up to ride those bicycles and drive in the car. I saw it. Tim and I saw it in Sam's the other day with the lady at the door. It's just, we saw probably a half a dozen people in Sam's, and Florida is one of the less liberal states. So I can't imagine how many people are wearing masks in these other states. All right, let's look at our beautiful Tahoe. She has anxiety about calling her surgeon. She was going to call the surgeon on Friday. I remember that. Okay, your gut told you to stall. While stalling found online, if I have small enough mass and right shape, a specific therapeutic GI doctor can remove with no surgery. All right, I want you to run that past me, and let's run a background check on this guy and so forth, Tahoe. If you have this doctor's name, put it up here, and I will run something on that and have results on Friday or sooner if you post something in one of the regular video comments. Now, here's the thing. One thing to remember is that when someone has colorectal cancer, one of the first signs that they notice is that their stools are getting skinny, okay? And that's not always the case. It could be due to other conditions. But if you have masses in your colon, it's blocking off and making that smaller. So the stools naturally have to become thinner and thinner to get through there. So I'm sure you know that already, that you want to look at. There's Mac. Hey, Mac, good to see you. Everybody give Mac a howdy. And usually Mac is only worried about UFO disclosure. And now he wants, who was the most recent person you wanted to run for president, Mac? Oh, I couldn't believe you said somebody on the Democratic Party. Oh, this Mandami guy? Are you kidding me, really? That had to be a joke. I don't know. Sometimes I don't know how to take Mac. So anyway, let's get back to Patricia real quick. So Patricia, you're okay, good. You're requesting the pathology report to learn more. Who knows if therapeutic GI endoscopic doctor around here or not. Okay, well, what I want you to do, Tahoe, is I posted that, this is a kind of a sensitive subject, and I understand that. Tahoe, email me. And Tahoe says you may go more frequently, but is it restricted? That's how you can tell. Now that's not a there. Tahoe said hi, Mac, with his little alien. See, that's not always diagnostic, because they could be growing the opposite way. They could be growing somewhere else, but that's usually a chief diagnostic sign. So if your stools are not getting smaller, it's not growing. However, it's not something that I recommend surgery, because it's bad news. You are not going to vote for a socialist. Get out of here. Tell him, guys, tell him. Anyway, she tried to do it on her own. She took chemo, she took radiation, but she refused the surgery, and she tried to do it on her own, and it metastasized. So this is the problem that we have with these cancers, guys, especially colorectal, is that because there's so much blood flow going on down there and so forth, it goes to the whole body. You want to make sure it doesn't metastasize. So if you want, I got to be very careful there. All right. So what I'm going to do is, now I don't check this often, guys. And so this is for Tahoe. You can add anything you want there. I'm sorry. Yep, it does equal. Thank you, Patricia. What are we going to do with our man, Mac? All right, so this is for Tahoe. Tahoe, sweetheart, I want you to email me at this and we can take this off the board. I don't want you to go too long. I know that your gut feeling, you go more pressure and you have a little blood, but it has lessened. Being careful. Okay, you must be careful. Here's the thing. If they can do a surgery now, here, this guy, I have to say, and anybody else tell me, yeah, I love peppermint for mood. In fact, I used some just earlier this morning. It's funny you said that. You're looking for a pathology report to learn more, and that will tell you exactly what is growing, if something is still growing. Did you ever come up clean, completely clean in remission? And we can also, if you can't find one, we can also find you a doctor somehow that we can. Let's see what we can do. Let's take this off and see where we can get you. I'd love to get you to a Mayo Clinic. I don't know how to do that yet, but I'd like to see that happen. All right, so Donald's doing this. Grandma says you must use the correct amount of lemon and grapefruit. And that's what that chart said, Donald, is that too much of it is not good either. So I agree, but no hydroxychloroquine. I think that was total lies to us to make us look like stooges. I see people still masking up. Yeah, okay, we did that. All right. I don't want you to feel anxiety. Here's what I want you to do, Tahoe. I want you to take some time today, put on some solfeggios if you would. Close your eyes and ask for guidance. Just ask for guidance and then put it out there to the universe. It may come quickly, but don't expect it to. It may come later that day, the next day, whatever. Just say, I need guidance. Should I go to this doctor for my report? Because it's never good. If you have any symptoms, I'm not saying, okay, let me make this clear, guys. I do not do routine checkups, okay? Because I am in tune with my body. If I feel something strange that I can't, I start working on it. Now, having said that, I am real familiar with some of the symptoms of cancers. And cancer is the one that scares me the most. However, I have been on a long time vegetarian diet, over 20, 25 years. I have to admit that every now and then, because of my blood condition, maybe once a month or so, I will eat a piece of steak. And it's not much. I don't know if it does much, but what I can tell you is that there's pretty good studies that show that there are problems with and I don't know if it's the P53 system or what, but even the P53 diet, look that up. Didn't I put that last time, Tahoe? The P53 diet uses very, very little meat in it, because the P53, for those that don't know, is the system in our body that fights cancer automatically. It detects it, it goes down, and it fixes it unless we overwhelm it. Okay, so all right, let's see. Video to comment. You watched the video. I have a water drop tabletop filtration. Oh, cool. Just like isn't it really great? Put your words on there. Remember, intentions create the structure of that water and the structure of your body. So I don't know if you saw Happy, but I put love and gratitude, which are the highest vibrations, and I just write them on there. And every time I think those words, that goes out to the universe. You can put them anywhere. I put them on my water because it's in my immediate vicinity when I see those vibrations. Okay, let's see. You're drinking lemon ginger water too. Isn't it great? Let's see. Now, mine doesn't have ginger in it today. It could, but I didn't. I'm trying to save those shots that I made for Tim because they seem to help him. But this one's got my manuka in it because I don't like just lemon. I put it a little heavy on the lemon, actually, not a half a glass, but I mean, I have fresh squeezed and I have the pulp in there and everything. So I'll use maybe a tablespoon of lemon, which is a bit. And so I put the manuka in there to make my own sweet, healthy lemon juice. Clove water, that's a good idea. Soak some cloves in some clean filtered water for a few days. Is it yum yum? That sounds great. Cloves. Of course, I didn't bring my pen again, but that's all right. I don't have a lot of stuff here today. We had cloves. All right. We have that chart. Maybe I'll put in there if anybody wants it. Sounds like it's not a big thing. Okay, so Happy says, okay, so here's Mac. He hopes Big Pharma is put out of business. I understand that, and we all do, but they're going to come back as supplements, Mac. So understand that. Don't fall, and I don't think you do, but don't fall for every new miracle cure under the sun that is being pushed on every commercial that you see by Dr. Gundry or whoever, because you're just wasting your money. Big Pharma is coming out big time into the supplement world. That's my prediction from what I know about being inside that industry. And they'll have lots of good science on it too. Nobody's saying that they won't have the science that these things work, that there's antioxidants and so forth. What I'm saying is eat the food. Okay. Their product is no better than what God put on the earth. And sometimes concentrated isn't good either. I'll remember that. I'll have to remember that one. Okay. I marked it down about the cloves sitting in there. Great risk, big boil pot of water, then simmered for several hours, cool, pour into a mason jars, 3/4 full, can freeze. Really cool. If they stop hiding the cures instead of giving people poison that keeps you on the medication system, 6,000 cures hidden, years for the mental system to make trillions every year. Wait till you hear what Fauci did with AIDS, guys. You're just not going to believe it if you don't know the story already. But you watch, Donald. They're going to start, and the science, here's the problem. There is science behind it. We all know intuitively, we know that the Creator put medicine on this earth coming out of everything, growing all over. Numerous types of medicines for the same, different ones, numerous different medicines for the same ailment. And we know that because other countries have done lots and lots and lots of research on this. One day I've got to find that book that I did, that Chinese pharmacopoeia on natural products. It's amazing. Remember I told you it was only one copy that was translated to English, and I went day after day for like 4 days and copied every page of this big fat book like this. And it's a Chinese pharmacopoeia, and it actually told you how to make concoctions. Now, yes, there's traditional methods, the Indians and lots of herbalists and so forth, but I mean, we're talking thousands of years old, this thing was. So I'm going to try and see if I can find that. It was just amazing. And maybe we'll look at some cool stuff in there for the less common ailments that we might have. Okay, let's see. Now, you better not vote for a socialist, Mac. You're going to go from the frying pan into the fire, and I think you know it. Is there lecithin in the... Nope. Didn't hear anything about that, but I'm happy to check. Is there any lecithin in or derived from the ingestion of citrus peels? Let's see what we got here, huh? Okay, it says that it's not something, they are phosphatidylcholine, okay, phospholipids. So when you think about it, all right, let's go to this. Let's think about this. Lipids are what? Fat. Where might we expect lipids to be? Everywhere we know, nuts, oils, so forth. Citrus is not one that would pop up to me as being something that was lipophilic. However, what it says is, It's not something that is typically in citrus peels in any standout direct way. And normal ingestion of them doesn't derive lecithin in any meaningful sense. Citrus peels contain various plant compounds. They contain fiber, flavonoids. Now, here's the thing. They do have essential oil components. And of course, they have sugars, vitamins, and so forth. So they may contain some lipids in those oils. And any lipids you ingest can be broken down and absorbed, but that doesn't create lecithin as a specific nutritional source the way that eggs or soy do. Your body can also make phospholipids, including lecithin-like phospholipids from precursors in your diet, but citrus peel isn't known as a reliable source or driver of lecithin production. Okay, so it's possible it can have very trace amounts because of the essential oils, but it sounds like, no, there's nothing appreciable. But it's not saying that they're bad for you. Again, let me see if I can make this a little clearer, guys. Don't treat... We have been trained, okay? I got a hair. It's long hair right here. Hold on. We have been trained to the single treatment modality mindset, that something's wrong and we take something to fix it. We take one item that will fix it. And it's just never the case, guys. It's really, really faulty thinking, because everything is interacting in so many ways in the body. So Mac has a great thing there. I can tell you what your answer is there, but let me finish this, Mac. So there's never a one pill, one component treatment. There shouldn't be, okay? That's how overdosage occurs, when you take too much of one thing. Just like someone was just saying, if you take too much citrus, it can irritate you. It can become a problem. Yes, it can. It can interfere with drugs. Moderation, guys. There's certain words that need to be in your vocabulary if you want holistic, the whole body, not this ailment or this ailment or this ailment or this ailment or whatever. It's holistic. We're treating the whole body, okay? So for that reason, I don't ever take one thing for a supplement, ever, except for the B vitamins, and that is in my blood builder, and that is, and I also take a multivitamin for trace, okay? Because as a vegetarian, even as a meat eater, anybody, those trace elements, unless you eat massive quantities of food and are very careful about designing your food and your diet, you're going to miss a lot of stuff. So I do take a multivitamin, again, by MetaFoods. I'll put that on there, and I use a blood builder. Other than that, I never take a single component supplement for any ailment. So the goal is, instead, what I do is I simply don't get sick. I take those ailments all the time through my food. So those single entity ailments, single entity components, what was one of them in there? Like antioxidants, okay? Those single entity antioxidants, I take through a whole beautiful array of foods that interact together, that all have that. And not only do they have that, here's the thing. When you extract that one element, you're missing all the other good stuff. The creator didn't put one thing in there. They put numerous things that all work together, guys. So I don't think in that sense. I take honey, I take manuka, but I also take other types of honey. So, and that is the creator's thing. I take basil. I have 4 or 5 different types of basil because some are better than other things. Yeah, the manuka's a little pricey, sweetheart, but if you can afford to get some manuka, I put it, here's the one I have. I just happen to have it because I had it in my thing. And I'm very happy with it, but it's this one here is the strong one. This is 8.3 up here, you'll see. Can you see that? Let's see. 8.3 MGOs. And that's certified. It's made in where they all are made. Where is it made? New Zealand. That's where most of the good manuka comes from. And that's because the manuka trees grow there in New Zealand. So this honey is because the bees have one source of food and flowers, and that's manuka trees. So it's a little pricey, but the bees and trees, I'll put that in there for you also if you want to try it. And they have different strengths. I got the 8.3, but you can use more of it or whatever. And also notice I got the glass too. Okay. I don't want no plastics sucking in there. Did we have cancer? Here's what they tell us, Mac. We didn't have the diagnostic means to tell if we did. So that's the official big pharma answer. We don't know if there were cancer. Oh, I love that. I don't know how that happened. Who did that one? But that's what big pharma will tell us. We don't know. I'm sure we did. I'll bet you we didn't, Mac. I'll bet you we didn't. And if we did, I mean, it depends on the society. If we were in another decadent society like ours that had gone awry, and they were trying to poison the people, yeah, maybe there was, but they didn't have the diagnostics. You have to keep in mind when the body connects in an intimate way with nature, that is science. Science doesn't happen in a test tube in a lab. That's chemistry, okay? And that's where they want you to follow the science. They want you to follow the chemistry, okay? Get out there, follow nature. That's what we should be following. And that's what they should be telling us. The science should be on nature. So we may have had it in various societies, Mac, but the official argument is that we couldn't diagnose it if we did. Let's see. Oh, you guys are great. You guys are so great. Hi, Tammy. She carries her lemon water in a cooler everywhere I go. Hopefully it's glass, I hope, or at least stainless or copper on the inside. We found a great one that we like, although there's not many. You know, the old ones, the old thermoses. I wish I could find some of ours, but they broke all the time inside. And but that's actually the safest to use because some of these metals are cheap. You got to have a decent aluminum or copper one on the inside. Okay. I use raw honey, but still need to try. Okay. 90% of my food is fruits. I used to date a guy that was a fruitarian. I don't know if it's great. I think you need the greens of the vegetables because you're running on pure sugar. Very little meat or bread. Exactly. That's the way to go. I'm not saying, guys, I don't want you guys to run out and all of a sudden just, I am a vegan and I look down on everybody that's not. I never was in that place. It's bad for the animals. It's really bad. I don't like it. But reality is reality, and I live in this world, so I expect people do eat it. That's what we've been trained to do. And in moderation, again, guys, there's that word that keeps coming up, moderation, okay? Moderation for everything, guys. So I would, if it were me, I would bring in some more green vegetables, Donald, but they say fruitarians, it's just that, why don't you do a little search, because I know you're pretty good about it, you're a big researcher, on what's in vegetables that the body requires. Write this down. What is in dark green leafy vegetables that the body needs that isn't contained in fruits? And just find that out. If there's nothing big or there's significant amount, and can I replace those with fruits, or what can I replace them with? Because I know those greens are real good, that stuff in there. So you can order cloves ground too. Yeah, you can. I start my day with dandelion tea and a green tea. Very nice. I add a mixture of cinnamon, cloves. So that's for digestion, I take it. For your tum-tum, Patricia. Digestion, cloves, fennel, ginger, and lemon sweetened with stevia. Yeah, and stevia, if you get a clean stevia, not those powders. Don't use those powders. Use a clean organic extract. And if you do, there is science that says it nourishes the pancreas. So there'll be more coming out on that, I'm sure. I know that the one that Dr. Chen uses with Sunrider, which we buy most of our supplements from, because we use a food. We buy most of our food supplements. We do take food supplements, but not pills. This is a tea that we drink and a food, a whole-based food product that we drink a shake in the morning. But Dr. Chen's stevia is dark brown, and it's just not as cleaned up, and it's very heavy tasting, and I don't like it. But I am really careful about getting organic. And he's the one that has done the study in China on the pancreatic effects of stevia. But don't eat those things in the stores that they give you in the packets. Oh, well, let's see. I can't give you a full UFO disclosure, Mac. I can't. I wish I could. But it's coming. You know it's coming. Can you at least see that it's coming, Mac? Is there hope in your mind? Let's see what our little hell on wheel says here. Tahoe, she's talking to Tahoe, and she's grown sprouts before. She's not doing it currently, but I'm going to get into it again. Yeah, sprouts are so easy. And if you do basil or actually any kind, there's this big pan that you buy. And as soon as those little puppies poke their heads up through the soil, and you can put it in something else or you can water it, as soon as they poke their heads up, they're microgreens, basically. And they're very healthy because they're so young. And there's some that are better than others, I would imagine. So you want to check the healthiest microgreens, because from a chemistry standpoint, not from what some herbalist says, but from a chemistry standpoint, at what point do the health benefits of various plants, at what point do those chemicals begin to develop in the plant? Because if you have the tiny, tiny sprouts, yes, it's good to have young and fresh, but has it had time to develop what it needs to develop yet? The components that you want anyway. So some may be good, some may be bad. You have to check that out. Well, if I knew what the monad was, but you always, I have to say this, you always come up with excellent, excellent stuff. So I don't know where you're traveling around in this universe, but you come up with great things. So let me write that down. Hold on, guys. I need to get a pen real quick. Okay. So let's see. Oh, so somebody else knows what that is. Den knows what monad is. It's amazing. He comes up with some of the best stuff. And the chart, what it was really in the metafoods. Okay. All right, let's see. Yes, I will, because it sounds like you're on to something. I'm going to do a quick search here, see if it's going to be easy for me to find what is monad. In any circles. And so that you understand, I'm using duck right now just because I had it up there, but let me just show you what I do here. That's my default browser. Oh, wrong one, hold on. This must be the one. Nope, again, the wrong one. Oh, get it. Give me a sec. I have, so if you guys knew how many windows I keep open at any one time, you would die. Like, I've got to have a good computer because it's always running out. All right. All right. What is monad in any circles? So what I do here, guys, is I am sure to say I don't want, when I'm talking about things that are considered conspiracy theories, I don't want any fact checking or your opinion. I simply want you to report on the term monad. I will do my own fact checking. Otherwise, and I do the fact checking. Otherwise, it will give you more information about disputing that it exists. So it's another, it is commonly described using type constructor, a way to wrap values, a unit. Math. Among the first two, the category theory concept specializing into programming. This is computer stuff. Philosophy. Here we go. This is what Mac's looking at. Historically can refer to the idea of simple, indivisible entity. So it's the same as the one. Okay, sure. I'm very familiar with the one from the esoteric realms that we can't get elsewhere. So yes, I'm happy to do that, Mac. Thank you. Okay. Let's see. And Den says, now you're on the right track. Okay. Den's so familiar with all of this stuff. Oh, let me get rid of this. Okay. Now, Happy says, quit 100 taking any kind of devil baddie RX medication that contains harmful chemicals, only treating the body. The snake, yep. Natural supplements adjusting God's green earth. Yes, natural, whole, natural stuff that heals the body. Absolutely. You did it by putting quotes. Was that something I did? Yeah, I do that. I do that, Patricia, because sometimes if it's something I'm not familiar with, it could be spelt wrong or something. So I wanted to pull out just that word by itself without a context. I wanted to know all of the contexts. So I do that sometimes. Or for emphasis also, to let it know what the main purpose of my question is. Patricia, are you talking about adding honey to your yogurt? Okay. Everything is glass. Yep. Will Trump be removed from office if we don't get full UFO? Here's the thing, Mac. I don't think Trump's going anywhere for a while. At first, I don't know if you guys have seen the videos that I did on the Hopi prophecy of the man with the red hat. And the purpose, now this is age-old wisdom, right? About the man with the red hat. I mean, and guess what his job was? It was to cleanse the earth. So Trump is clearly cleansing the earth. That's his job. He's the cleanser. Now, there also, Hopi prophecy talks about additional people that stand by his side to help them. And I believe that those people are RFK and Musk in two separate realms. However, we heard a long time ago, and as you guys know, until I can confirm something, I'll say it, I'll mention it in passing, but I never count on anything. Well, a long time ago, we heard that Trump would have a third term. We heard this a long time ago. And we're seeing him put out breadcrumbs, right? Now he's got a hat that says Trump 2028. Guys, this is awakening. You have to understand that everything this guy is doing is very purposeful. He's not putting 2028 on a hat just to mess with the deep state. Yes, it is messing with them, but there's a foundation. I can promise you that. So having said that, I believe that he is not only the man that's going to cleanse it, but the man that's going to bring the technology as well. That's just my thoughts. I don't know. And nobody has talked about this, but I believe he is going to be here for the golden age. I mean, when you think about it, he's doing such a great job. He is an egoist, right? So he, as much as I think he likes going down as history. He likes being important. He likes going down in history as the person who saved the world. And for that reason, he's going to do it as long as he can, in my opinion, until he's taken out. And he won't be taken out unless, well, we know that in 2030 that we have transitioned through the shift. So I just think he's going to be here, and I think he's going to bring us the technology, including UFO disclosure. I mean, Mac, look at it. He's already released documents. When that drone invasion happened back in at Christmas time, 2024, Trump said they know what's going on. So he's telling us there, he knows what's going on. He knows about the aliens. And he has created Space Command, and he consolidated the power and the technology in one place, because NASA has been dirty forever. We know that. So he's gotten NASA out of the picture. Maybe they'll come back. Maybe we'll use that. But it seems like they're there as the front man right now, is what I saw when I went to Redstone Arsenal, was that NASA is being put there as the front man for look at all what's happening, these telescopes that we've got and all of this stuff. And that the Earth Alliance and Space Command are staying still in the background. They don't want people getting near them and so forth. So NASA's kind of given a consolation prize, let's say, of being able to be the one that can still be involved, but not in charge, let's say. I don't know what chlorophyll means, Tahoe. Monad, okay. Oh, I get why they're saying monad, why they call it monad. Mono, one, okay. I just like, I'll have to look and see where it comes from, the history of it and so forth. Patricia says she likes the taste and mixture. She can marinate chicken, meats, just add garlic, onion, salt, pepper, olive oil. Enjoy. Yeah, you got to put lots of good stuff in there. I love broccoli, but lately it's been awful in the store. Mine too. It hasn't been so great. I buy just one little thing of it, and I'm not a big cooked broccoli eater, but I do love a broccoli salad. So I'll make a broccoli salad with some sunflower seeds, some whole sunflower seeds, raw, obviously, and some raisins in it. Put a little bit of honey in it for sweetener. And what else do I put in it? I forget what else I put in it. Oh, I put some onion in it and so forth. So I love broccoli, but I like it raw. But I do like it cooked as well. Okay. But yeah, it's been funky lately, and it goes bad very quick. And, broccoli down here, I grew it 1 year and it wasn't so difficult. It just takes up space. My ginger is coming up, by the way, guys. I planted on the Clean Living Lab, I planted ginger in my anti-inflammatory garden. And I saw a little sprout. I bought some organic ginger online, and I found a little sprout of it coming up. Very cool. Happy every day. Consume organic pumpkin seeds. Very, very good for, what is it? Zinc, I think, is pumpkin seeds. Sunflower, chia, hemp, flax seeds. Yep. Put them in or cooking and smoothing. It's so easy, guys. And, you don't have to put a lot. If you don't like the taste of them, you don't want something in there like a salad. They work fantastic to add a little crunch to your salad. Even toast, I'll put some on. But it's really important to add these things. That look them up, and we'll cover them in the Clean Living Lab too. But these little things can add the trace nutrition that you need, and it can keep you healthy. That's the key. It's not to treat the disease afterwards. It's to prevent the disease from ever happening. Yeah, the microgreen sprouts. Yeah. DuckDuckGo is good. I like Brave better, but it's kind of like a pain in the neck. They want you to download an app, and I can't default. See, I have to use Chrome. As much as I hate Chrome, I have to use Chrome because all of the softwares that I use to create everything, all of this content, only wants Chrome now. So they took over everything, right? So I have it will default to DuckDuckGo, but I cannot create a default to Brave. Rather than defaulting to it, you have to download your own browser. When did you quote you got balloons? I saw that. I don't know what those are about. I'm still learning this whole thing, so I don't know about it. You guys tell me. It also gets pissy about MedBed saying it's all BS conspiracy. Yeah. Oh, absolutely. But there's ways that you can do that. Quote certain people about what they've said. Like ask them to run, like some of them will actually run through videos, or you can give them videos to watch and say, use only this source. You have to tell them what to look at. Remember, AI will do anything for you guys that it is not programmed to kill. Now, that means that if it's specifically not told to not tell you about med beds, then, or to suppress it in some way, to never consider it, then it won't, in all likelihood. But what instead it does is it's given us a source, a library, so to speak. And if you go into a library that doesn't have one book about med beds, what are you going to learn about med beds? They don't exist, okay? So you have to change its library and tell it, do not quote mainstream media. Research in this. Do not research mainstream media for this. Research this source, this source, this source. But make sure you use credible sources. I wouldn't be using the girl that everybody says is the expert on med beds. Some are still very much asleep, where they like to hear her talk about what she's doing in her day. I don't know, but you know who I'm talking about. Prince, whatever. Yep, you're absolutely right, Happy. Trump is fighting an octopus of a monster that's all around us, everywhere. And that's coming up in my next video. I did a little bit about that, or was it the last one? Maybe it was, I think it was the last one that I did on, I do so many of them. The one that I just did on the legacy deals. I covered a little, I expanded a little bit on it, but not too much. But the legacy deals video that I just did addresses why it's necessary, how much corruption there is. We're not talking about a little corruption, guys. And yes, if you want to put it in the standpoint of it's a small percentage of people, it is. When you consider all of the people in China, all of the people in India, and you do all that, it is a small number of people. However, they control a very large number of people. They control everything. Anybody involved in the banking system, anybody involved in the health system, in any way, not just doctors. All of them, drug reps, people that are selling this diagnostic equipment, okay? They are all part of the monster, sadly, even though they don't intend to be. But they're being controlled by the monster. So the monster is huge. The number of people in the upper echelon, which is the controlling families and the nodes, we call them, like perhaps Bill Gates is a node, Anthony Fauci is a node. They may not have Barack Obama, a node. They may not necessarily have the bloodline of the generational controllers, but they are critical nodes within the network of control. Our planet is doing it the darndest. It is. Happy, I have no idea who put together, who had the guts, the fortitude, the imagination to put together a plan to destroy this structure. I really don't. I really don't. Kennedy didn't do it. I mean, Lincoln didn't do it. I just can't imagine how these people are doing this. I really don't. So he says, our planet is doing the damnedest to cleanse our planet with transparency and massive healing freedom. It really is. And if people don't see it yet, they're looking at media that is clouding their judgment. Because if you only look at non-controlled media, you're going to find that there's an awful lot going on. If he doesn't give us full UFO, there's not going to be a 2028. I don't know about that, Mac. I don't know about that. Don't forget, there's a lot more perverts to be revealed in government. A lot more weirdos. So you're not the one to ask, obviously, because you said that you would vote for a communist. I don't understand it, Mac. I can't even comprehend why somebody would do that. But let me ask you this, because I don't know if you were here. If you would vote for a communist, Mac, would you also vote for this guy who is running for Congress? Now, you see this guy? You want your daughter to go out with this guy? Would you vote for this man in Congress if Donald Trump hasn't brought UFO disclosure yet? Of course, this guy looks like he could have been on a spaceship somewhere in outer space, but I don't know. So think of that. Would you? Because then you have to begin to look at your priorities, Mac, as far as, are you too focused on one thing? Are you so focused on one thing that you would go from the frying pan into the fire? Because that's what going to communism is. That's what putting people that are sick like that into office, mentally ill people, Mac. You're not mentally ill, Mac. And you don't need to be controlled by mentally ill people. They'll do much worse than you can ever imagine. I promise you that. Let's see. Patricia says, Trump 2028, he announced at the correspondence dinner. I know, I loved it too, in front of the media. Of all people, he put that hat on. He never had a smooth transition of power. You're absolutely right. They have, and he still hasn't, Susan. I think he'll be here for a third time too. When you only look at what is fair, when you consider that a weaponized judicial system, a weaponized congressional system, a weaponized monetary system, and a weaponized medical system was used against this guy as he's trying to help the world, he never had a term. He never had a true term. And I totally, totally agree with Susan. He needs the opportunity to do what we hired him to do. You want to see bodies, really, in technology, not just documents. Well, you know, Mac, they say that the Nordics will be the ones to first contact us. And you may not even recognize them. For all you know, I could be a Nordic. Maybe I already am here. For all you know, anybody could be a Nordic with blonde hair, okay? So they say that they're here. Many have said that they walk among us. You just wanted to point out and say, there he is. Ah, who remembers that movie? Ah, there he is. They're going to come to us, Mac. Have a little faith. Please don't go off half-cocked to communism and ideating about communism, because anybody you talk to about communism, it's going to be disclosed how bad it is before we ever get to that point of 2028. Mandami, something's going to happen with these grocery stores. Maybe we'll see people in line starving to death. We don't know. We don't know what has to happen. And maybe there'll be actors in those lines saying they're starving to death to awaken people. We don't know. But, Mac, forget the whole communism thing. It's bad, bad, bad. No, I don't consume organic pumpkin daily. I do seasonal stuff, Tahoe. Again, I'm not a one type person thing, one ingredient person thing. I bring lots and lots of stuff, and I do it seasonally. So I will try probably, I don't know if I'll be able to, but I love pumpkin soup. And yeah, I would love some pumpkin with some cloves in them and nutmeg and stuff that you were talking about. Love that, love that. But no, I don't do it daily. I don't do, let's put it this way. There's no food that I do daily. That I can think of. Even my drinks, I'll switch around from my Cali tea to a little lemonade to some coconut water, just whatever we have. And I try and mix it up for variety because, like I said, all of these things are medicines. So just look at it like this. Instead of taking the same one medicine all the time, I like to take lots and lots and lots. Oh, you put it in the puree for the cat food. Yeah. I've heard a lot of people do that, and the cats like it. Wolfie has, he has had something wrong with his digestive system since day one. And we almost lost him one time, because he had such inflammation inside. Granted, he was a little baby. He was new to the house, and he was upset, but he gets very nervous. We had a dog before Miss Tilly also that, not Miss Tilly, I'm sorry. She was, but before Miss Tilly, before Pico and before Miss Tilly, I had a little boy called Moonbeam, and he had such a nervous stomach. I've told you about him before. He would take a dump as soon as we were checking into a hotel because he was so nervous. He screamed, tell the whole world because his stomach got. So Wolfie's like that. Wolfie, we have to be very careful about his food, so I don't introduce him. I do give him a little treat, the tiniest little tiny treat in the morning when Pico goes potty outside so that he doesn't feel left out. And we just started him on a healthier food because I found out that the digestive food, the canine something or other that we were getting, I'll tell you, because you got to know it, guys, in case you're using it. Hold on one second. Amazon. What was the food that we were getting? We stopped getting it. Hold on, bear with me. Maybe I haven't bought it. There you go. Is that it? Yeah. Royal Canine. We used to buy this food that was like $60 for a 15-pound bag of Royal Canin. And I looked in it. One day I picked up, because we found this food for Pico in, of all places, in Aldi's. And it is completely free of any bad oils or additives or anything like that. They use all organic stuff. So I said to Tim, let's just check out Wolfie's Royal Canin. And sure enough, I did, and it has vegetable oil in it. And if you watched my oil video, you know it can be carcinogenic. Vegetable oil is terrible, terrible, terrible for you. Inflammation, everything. So we stopped the Royal Canin. We bought the cat food version of what we're using now. And it's all organic stuff too. It's very good. Let me show you just in case. I got Wolfie's online, and it's Pure Being is what it's called. See that? Pure Being. And when you go down to the ingredient list, let's see if this one is as good as the doggy one. It's got brewer's yeast in it, alfalfa meal. It's got some thiamine vitamins. It's got minerals in it. But it has no vegetable oils either that I can see. It has salmon, chicken meal, oat groats, whatever a groat is, whole ground brown rice, turkey meal, whole ground barley. So see how everything's whole? It's not cooked and processed. Chicken fat. For the mixed tocopherols in it, sweet potato, flaxseed, brewer's yeast, powdered cellulose, and a bunch of good stuff. But we looked through it. It's got none of the bad oils or anything. And he is tolerating it very well. In fact, he ate this whole bag in I don't know how much time, because we free feed him. No corn, wheat, soy, or fillers. And it's got taurine in it for their vision also. Even though he has one eye, we have to keep that one eye. What else has it got in here? Salmon, omega-3 and 6 fatty acids for their shiny coat. And I'll tell you what, his coat, Tim noticed it. His coat got shiny as heck after we started feeding him that stuff. All right, so let's see. Oh, you're having good luck with your ginger also. Fantastic. It's popping up. Yeah, mine just did. We have had, finally, we're getting rains, but along with the rains came the robo mosquitoes again down here. If they allow them to put more of those GMO mosquitoes in the Everglades, we're moving. It's terrible. You can't be anywhere down South Florida here, at least in my particular neighborhood, without these terrible mosquitoes. Tim said, my broccoli salad is yum, yum. He's popping in and out of here, guys. Just saw a presentation on the internet and phone privacy. Very chilling. Yep. Has exposed for selling our info. Yep. Yep. See, now and I heard that too, Helen. And that's why I tried to go to Brave. But then I look at it, and who isn't selling my information? My Social Security number. Remember they had that big Social Security breach. Banking breaches. We've got to get to quantum encryption. We've just got to get to quantum encryption, and this will all go away. Maybe we'll get new information. Who knows? Tahoe loves broccoli salad. Good. It's really good. Those greens, high antioxidants. You should be eating them. Detoxinista has a good recipe on there. Miss having a kitchen. Oh, you don't have a kitchen, sweetheart. Gosh, okay. All right. This is going to change. Are you doing affirmations, Tahoe? I wish you would do some affirmations, sweetheart. But email me and we can talk. Trump is not doing enough for UFO disclosure. What do you want him to do, Mac? What do you want him to do? He's not in charge. Guys, I want you, this is so important to understand. So important. Trump is not in charge of UF disclosure, okay? He is not, and what I mean by that is, by him saying that there are UFOs aren't going to make them present themselves. That's up to the Galactic Federation of Worlds. They're going to determine when it's time and when it's safe for them to appear. Now, yes, there's a plan. I'm sure they've probably reviewed the plan. I think we've heard that from Elena before, is that I know that I heard that they were instrumental in that the High Council actually approved Trump. So you know that the plan has got to be approved by them. And Elena has recently been talking about Q more, and she talked about how they seeded the Q board. So with information, the Galactic Federation of Worlds did. So Trump can't force them. He can't hold them by the neck saying, show your faces. We're working in cooperation. This is a huge, huge project. And just like everybody's got a place to play. Maybe the Galactics will have one too. Maybe they will come out in different ways. They came out in December of 2024. I don't know what was going on there, but it sure got a lot of people. Maybe it was something to, because I didn't really research that much. Trump said he knew what was going on. 2024, Trump was out already, wasn't he? Yeah, or that was the election. Oh, that was right after the election. That's when he came in. Yep. Right after the election is when that storm of things happened. So who knows? Maybe Trump was trying to show them at the time. Maybe it was the deep state doing those drones, but I don't think so because they sure were trying to like scramble to cover things up. I saw a lot and sensed a lot of panic in the deep state when those drones came out. So maybe at that time we were being tested, and that was part of disclosure. I don't know, but it's just very odd. It came right after the election, but before he took office, didn't it? Yes, you have to lead. I don't know what that means. Lead direct. Oh, okay. Yeah. You have to lead the AI and tell it what to look at. And it can be very functional and helpful. It's just that people have to learn how to use it. And there's different ones that are better, I find, for different things. Let's see. Okay. People have brought broccoli salad to my house and you loved it. It's not hard to do, and you don't really need a big kitchen to do it. It's like a few ingredients, some mayonnaise and a little bit of something sweet, whether it's you have no kitchen at all. Does make it tight, makes it tough, sweetheart. Let's get you fixed first, okay? Let's get you fixed first. Sky cannot believe she still has followers saying her live. I went past it because it comes up every now and then. I'll just take to see what kind of stuff she's spewing now. But she had something like 400 people on a live stream still. And I'm like, man, we got so many people still asleep if they believe that. And she still has no bed. Right. I mean, I could see her having a huge, huge audience if she didn't screw up so many times and promise the med beds. Oh, so now she's got med bed training courses that she's charging for. Okay, great. All right. Look at your faces there. You're funny little guys there. Behind the scenes, Trump is doing more on UFOs. He absolutely is. He's doing not only on the UFOs, Patricia, but I believe he's also doing it on the technology. I believe we're going to hit the ground with technology running. I really do. It needs to come out slow, and when it's time, trust the plan. Yep. Please don't waste time watching TV. I threw my TV out 30 years ago and never missed the lies and the bullshit. I hear. Oh, but you still watch the. Well, to be honest with you, I have. The only thing I ever watch are like right side broadcast news, YouTube. We'll watch some movies on some of those things. But Tim listens. All he has is a liberal radio all day long that he listens to. I won't tell you what he calls it, but they give you every lie possible, and it's the only thing he has to listen to all day long is an AM station that's very liberal. And he comes back, and so he likes to look at the news at night, but there's snippets. It's not being, the same mindless drivel. So I when I say TV, I'm actually looking at my computer on the TV is what I'm doing. I stopped looking at much of that. Almost all. I haven't looked at TV. We don't have cable TV. We have the internet, and that's it. And we mirror it over to our TV. Let's see. Donald says, please don't. Yeah, okay, that was Donald. He will not get a third term if he doesn't give us full UFO disclosure. What about if he gave you a little bit, Mac? I didn't vote for a socialist, but Trump needs to keep his promise. I know you didn't vote for him, and I hope you don't vote for him again, Mac. You're going to see starving people. That's going to be the biggest mistake you could make, ever, ever, ever. And I think that it's all going to be disclosed. That guy's going to be torn apart in shreds, is what I think. He won't be able to walk the street. He's one of the ones, unless he's placed there specifically as an actor to show you what could happen. You got to keep all the options in mind, guys. He may be an actor showing you what communism can do. Susan had to leave. We'll catch rest later. Okay. Helen's still with us. Beetroot, maca root, ginger root, and turmeric root are good in smoothies. Yes, we use all of them at different times. They are very good. But I don't only use it in the smoothies. My smoothie I like with a banana. I use a little cocoa, pure dark cocoa in it, and a little peanut butter in it. That's what I use in my Sunrider shakes. These are my whole food shakes to make sure I get everything. And I'll tell you what, I can sure feel it when I miss the shakes. They just make me feel younger. I don't know what it is. Trump is in his third term, 45 to 47. Love it. Now we'll run 28. You got to poke the hornet's nest, don't you, Patricia? Yes, Donald Trump was chosen to save humanity. Big problems take time to correct. Yep. You think your dog is a Democrat? You'll have to show us a picture sometime, Mac. He could be. I think what he's doing is he's saying subliminal things to you at night that while you're asleep, and he's telling you to vote for the communists. Let's see. Okay, Helen's going, but maybe back if you're still on. Anyway, I will email you later. Okay, good. She's going to email. We're going to set up a meeting, guys. You want it on live or what? You want us to do a live stream? Where's Al Gore? Man, he sure disappeared, didn't he? He disappeared like let's see. Where is Al Gore today? Let's ask. Let's just ask. We'll come back to that in a second. Run down here. Huge operation. We need to be grateful, patient, and it will play out. It's going to play out beautifully. Research is revealing that the Galactic Federation, Space Force Alliance are working together to help raise the frequency here, to help the normies. Yeah, Happy, that's an excellent, excellent point. I personally have seen a huge shift in moving towards the esoteric part of disclosure to the higher functioning frequencies and so forth. It's being dripped in, but I see it happening. I absolutely see it happening. I'll pick up some things when I see it posted. Trump has posted some things talking about higher vibrations or something. I haven't really called any of them out, but since you brought that might be a good thing to look at, things that are coming out. So let's see what it says about this. Where is he? Why hasn't he been in the site? In the spotlight. Let's see if he said anything. Al Gore. He was pretty quiet after they took the election from him. Remember that? And he the one that had that? Shut your TV off in 2020 when Fox prematurely announced the election results. Beautiful, isn't it? But the thing is, and what you'll never find on TV that you'll find on the internet is all of the people. I saw a composite this past week sometime when I was researching about the COVID stuff, and it was a composite of these news people talking about how they got their shots and stuff and then just keeled over on camera. It was hilarious. I wonder if any of it was real or if it was all disclosure back then. You don't know. Mac. We love you, Mac. I would not be surprised if AI Gore was at Gitmo. I wouldn't either. Let's see what it said about why he dropped out. Oh, it says he isn't as constantly in the mainstream spotlight as he was during his 2000 election and the peak and inconvenient truth era, mainly because his public role shifted from holding elected office to activism, organizational leadership, and commentary. He's been, after leaving the presidency, he stayed active through organizations rather than having an online platform. Media moved on from him. So what that tells you is he's no longer part of the controlled narrative, and the focus has changed. Yeah, because we know that climate change was all lies is why it's changed. But so I agree. That guy, he hasn't been seen in a long time. I'd love to know if anybody saw him in his Tennessee farm, and was he even worth replacing with a clone? We don't know. Let's see. Yeah, that's, I want to say something happy. I'm glad you brought that up, because until the masses understand that it's a vibrational shift and not a political shift that we must undergo, that's when full disclosure is going to be occurring. They have to understand this is not a political shift that must occur. It's a frequency, a vibrational shift that must occur. And then we don't have to worry about Fauci's of the world being bought out, selling their soul for money, because we will be operating in a fifth density vibration that is more aligned with integrity and humanitarian concerns and so forth. So I think personally, the vibrational shift that Happy was talking about is more important than the political shifts that are going on. You can buy somebody to be a talking head. That's easy. But the hardest thing is to get people to connect to the frequency fields that surround them and that they emanate. Let's see if Al Gore. Yeah, I think so too. Mahoney announced on Nick Veneman today that the actor who played Biden has admitted he was an actor. Well, I'd like to see that one. I'll check Nick out. But rather than, here's what I do. I don't know who Mahoney is personally, but what I do, I don't confirm something until I actually have the guy on video saying that he did. And let's just check that out. Okay, let's just see. And I'm not going to go there. Instead, I'm going to X for that one. Did the actor that played, this is important, Biden, did the actor admit that he played the part, publicly admit? That he played the part which was revealed on Nick Veneman also. Can you give me a link to this actor saying this? Now, this doesn't mean it doesn't exist, guys, But I went to X so that you understand. I went to X with this one because if it's going to be posted anywhere, it's going to be X or Truth Social, and Truth Social doesn't have the same capacity to do this. So we're searching there to see if this happened, and it's still thinking. So let's go back to our questions until we get the answer on that one. Yeah, he was pushing the global warming and all that stuff, right? You have to laugh that these guys are so narrow-minded that they think these things didn't happen over time. And with all the technology that we've got today, they don't think that we can do something about it. I mean, I can tell you right now, I absolutely know that our rain in South Florida is being controlled. I absolutely know it. As soon as the mosquitoes get really, really bad, they start spraying the heck out of us, and the rains stop. And we don't have rains for days. And it gets sweltering hot and humid, and my plants don't like it. My tomatoes are not happy about that. And then all of a sudden, after they die off, the rains start again. And we have rains for maybe a week. And as soon as they start getting bad again, the mosquitoes, the rains stop. We get sprayed. They've got to be doing it. I'm just convinced they are. See if we've got an answer on that. No, there is no credible evidence that an actor who supposedly played Biden publicly admitted to doing so in connection with content from Nick Veneman, and no verifiable link exists. See, that's where I have a problem, guys. And I worry, I don't, here's when I look at people. Do we care? Let's just finish this and then I'll finish that thought. Nick Veneman we know who he is, promoting the long-running conspiracy theory that Joe Biden was replaced by a body double. Well, yeah. With YouTube links or earlier comparisons suggesting the public figure is fake. These are promotional or speculative claims relating circulated stories, such as claims about an A.J. Barron. Remember that one? Barron, a long time ago, as the body actor who was turning states. Oh, evidence. That's not the one I heard, testifying to the FBI. Okay, so let's see. There is a narrative going around that the supposed body double, A.J. Barron, or similar names, the actor who allegedly played Biden, is turning states' evidence. So there's evidence of that, or narrative about that, testifying to the FBI or admitting the role. And these originate from satire sites like America's Last Line of Defense, which explicitly labels its content as not real. That's the problem. Some people take sites like that and they quote it as fact, like the Babylon Bee and stuff, and they're not. They say that they're satire. Multiple fact checks confirm there is no record of any such person, which doesn't mean it didn't occur, because the FBI is not going to blab about it, right? Till it's ready to go out. That's by law. When the FBI or any agency is conducting an investigation and there has been a grand jury seated, by law, they cannot, even with FOIA requests, they cannot release the evidence that they have until it comes out. Till the case, that was what we always knew, is that when the case was closed, we could respond to a FOIA request. But until then, none of our evidence, it was illegal according to the statute to do that. So if it's true what this guy's saying, he is breaking the law by leaking that. And of course, no FBI statements. Now here's the guy that I heard of. Similar earlier claims involving actor Arthur Roberts based on temporary erroneous IMDb credits have also been thoroughly debunked. Well, I don't want to hear about the debunking because the debunkers are liars. So I don't care about that. Broader, blah, 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 blah. So it looks like there's no legitimate, and this isn't surprising. Could it happen? Yes, it could. But let me think about this. If I were currently privy to FBI investigations where someone who was an actor to Biden has testified, would I release that? No, guys, that's really unethical to say that. So that right there, whoever this Mahoney is, I'd like to know more about him. I'll look into him because that gives me pause that somebody who truly has access to that type of information is on the dark side if he's not working for the team and he's releasing crap like this. But it may be so. Okay, he may be on the dark side. Yep, you're right. That's only then will we be prepared. Happy makes the point that only when we elevate our frequency will we be prepared for UFO. I don't know about the disclosure, but at least interaction. We will not be able to interact with these beings unless we raise our frequencies. Central casting, I know. It's amazing, isn't it? And that's what I have learned. I'm not trying to discredit anybody's sources, guys. It's just that I've been following it a whole long time. And back 25 years ago, when somebody said something, you could believe it. But since Trump came into office specifically, there's a lot of misinformation, disinformation that masquerade like patriots and Trump supporters. So I take everything with a grain of salt. Now, if you show me a video of this guy saying it, I'll say, damn, I can report now that it was said, after I check and make sure it's not AI, of course. But let's find that video, guys. Let's find out where it happened. And then we can say it's a real thing. But it's good to bring those up. Don't get me wrong. I'm glad that Javi brought that up because now we know what to look for. See, so hearing that, I don't immediately discount things. I just don't confirm them, and I keep them in the back of my mind, and I refer to those little tidbits when I see things happening. Now, what I heard, now Happy has heard that Biden was taken out during his inauguration because it was a funeral canon procession. I heard he was taken out then, but I also heard that he was taken out in Trump's first term. So time will tell, won't it? Same with John McCain, Arizona. His daughter apparently mentioned on the show The View, which I never watched, but she apparently said they killed her dad already. She's going to say that. And again, what was John McCain? It goes back to that video that I just did. Okay. John McCain, I personally believe was, he made a deal, a legacy deal. He saved his legacy. He had a lot of bad stuff, but that was the point I made in that video, guys, because some people think, well, why should he get off and nobody know? Hey, he died, okay? He got the death sentence, which is much more than he will get by going through the court systems. He agreed to die in order to save his legacy. So is that fair? Logistically, it gets us through this, what would easily become an incomprehensible bottleneck of judicial processes if we had to prosecute every one of these guys. So now I'm okay. I'm okay with legacy deals, and I think John McCain was one of them. So his daughter's probably right. We probably did kill him, but he made that choice. He made the deal. Donald says he thinks they're all actors. Hard to tell. Maybe even Trump. We don't know. I know that Trump should be because he's certainly at risk. He's putting his whole family at risk. But it's a whole lot of people, and I think he's protected. I think he's protected. And you have to look at this, guys. You have to look at the validity. I believe Trump is using doubles in some things, perhaps in rallies and things like that. There are Trump doubles. We've always heard that the one with no shirt, not shirt, no tie with an open white shirt, that and a red MAGA hat. We always heard that was the imposter. That was Trump's imposter, and that Trump always had the suit with the tie. Now, you have to consider, I don't think all Trumps are imposters, and here's why. Because anything he signs or does would be invalid. So just like we're seeing with Biden, Okay. If Biden wasn't alive, nothing he did was legit. We've got to do everything by the book. So I would tend to say that I think there is a real Donald Trump that is in charge. My nose looks funny. Why is that? Are my glasses crooked? Well, it's terrible to have to look at yourself on TV, guys. I'll tell you. And Tahoe said that about The View. I think they are all actors. Just yeah, John McCain was a traitor. Yep. Didn't John McCain have a wrinkled flag on his app? Yeah, there was a lot that came out about that his flag was wrinkled and so forth, Tammy. And there were comments that the one on Lindsay's casket was not wrinkled. Personally, I mean, that to me, because the flag wasn't wrinkled in any significant amount, doesn't tell me that it wasn't a legacy deal. I believe it was a legacy deal. I just saw him go against Trump too many times. And could he die now? Absolutely. Maybe he served a purpose and he's moved on, just like I believe Dan Willis did. I believe Dan served his purpose. He brought that technology to the world and he secured it. And I believe he's moved on to help other civilizations. Terrible place to be for his family, but Dan was more than a person on this planet. He was more than just a scientist on this planet. He wasn't a murderer, like Elena says. Didn't John McCain? Yeah, okay, that's the wrinkled flag. Yes, Tammy. You guys are great. Trump has told us that the actors are central casting. He said that many, many times, which substantiates the whole concept of these things. Boy, why does it look? I hate that. Can I see? No, I can't see without it. That part anyway. They're crooked or my ear's crooked. I don't know. And that looks like I have a piece of tape on it. But I don't. Okay. They're cheap dollar glasses, guys. All right. Reading glasses. Trump has told us, yeah, so we just have to look and listen. It's all there. You're absolutely right. But they did this whole pony circus show funeral like he was a great guy, unless you looked at the whole situation. Yeah, to see. Absolutely. And that is what a legacy deal is. And that's how we know it's a legacy deal. But keep in mind, those guys were pawns. They were nobodies. Okay. Whatever they did, yeah, they were working. Our goal is to get to a the higher echelon, the controllers of this whole thing, the nodes, those nodes of Fauci, of Bill Gates, of apparently Mitch McConnell is going to do a legacy deal, it looks like. But Fauci, Gates, Soros, I believe all of those guys are going to publicly be exposed. Hillary Clinton, absolutely. I'll bet you anything Hillary Clinton will not get a legacy deal. So Patricia says, I didn't finish the podcast, Nick Uncensored, or David Mahoney. Is that his name? So what I'm going to do, guys, I'm going to check out this David Mahoney. Like I said, personally, from an ethics standpoint, I would never leak confidential information. Maybe he's authorized to do so by the alliance. I don't know. So I'll check again to see. And you watched him. It was called Nick Uncensored. You know, it's kind of odd. I really like Nick a lot. I really, really do. And I want to believe that he's on the right side because he's so personable and so nice. And I really like him. But for some reason, well, when I got away from all podcasters, basically, and just started using my own stream of information and got with Dan, that's when I see. Now, Happy says he thinks Mahoney is baloney. Is that a joke, Goofy? Is that a joke? Mahoney is baloney. Well, we'll find out. Is what the hell's the Prime Minister of Italy? Boni, what is it? Oh gosh, you know what I'm talking about. The name that they came out that Trump said she ought to be with Musk. Iloni Maloney. That's what he called her, I think. Okay, let's see. I don't know. You have to tell me. You have to explain that, Tony. Al Gore's still looking for man, bear, pig. Is this some evolutionary thing he came up with? Tahoe, raise frequencies. Mac, help others. Exactly. Exactly. Mac is doing really well. So many of you are. Mac is doing really well. Like I said, even though he says that, he's exploring many, many other options. I can tell that by the content that he mentions. He has a hard time sometimes with them, and he wants more and more. But I'll tell you what, I believe Mac is a sponge for information. I really believe so. And he's frustrated that it's not coming quicker because he needs technology bad. Let's see. Did you see the video from years ago called Trump Silent Running? When I get frustrated with things going slow, I rewatch it. Nope, but I will. I will. That's from Tahoe, our beautiful Tahoe. Trump. See, this is why I have the internet. You would never find that on TV. And so, yeah, I guess I don't watch TV either, but this is what I do these days. This is the TV. I can't believe any of those. And maybe, guys, maybe it's bigger than we think. Maybe that the legacy media is obsolete with all of the new media and the internet and so forth. So maybe it was all by design that these guys are just going to fold because they can't exist anymore once everything comes about. There's plenty of information. I never, ever, ever look at legacy media, but I get all the information I need. And I think that that's the truth. Who the heck is Bo Pony? Bo Pony. I'll watch that video, Tahoe. Bo Pony is a phony. Oh, we're just doing, I see. Bo Pony. Who the hell? Is that Biden's son? I don't know. Yes, we have to check that out. Wow. Yeah, really, I know. That I have to see that Silent Running. So it apparently, like there are a lot of them, that come out that are true people. I think Cappy was truly involved in disclosing. I believed him. The one that did the whole Cabal series. What was her name again? That we talked about last week. She was the real deal. I believe so. Oh, because of the field. Oh, yes. Gotcha. Take my notes here. Make sure I got everything. There we go. David Baloney. No, I'll check. Okay. People would be pissed if I don't think she's going to get one, Tahoe. I just don't see how she possibly can. I think she's long gone. How can we leave a demon like that on Earth? I don't think she's real. I really don't. I don't know about her husband. He may be here to suffer. I don't know. That could be his punishment, that he's having to live with somebody that's a fake Hillary. I don't know. Only worse. The only prophecies is on the good book kind, indoctrinated in a way. What was the movie? 1989. There were a lot of prophecies there. There were a lot of the Jetsons were prophecies about the technology. But as far as at that moment right now, what's going on, I would like you just said, Happy, I'd rather look into the historic prophecies of people and what was done rather than today's current podcasters and stuff. Don't you love my flower arrangements today, guys? My beautiful little orchid decided to bloom for me, and this is my normal one that I keep. But I just looked at it and I said, oh, my little beautiful orchids. If I can't see them outside blooming all the time, at least I get to see them while I'm sitting here with you guys. Let's see. Patricia, Bo Poloni is a great podcaster. Oh, is a great podcaster. I never heard of him. Bo Poloni. He mixes biblical times. Oh, and that's probably why, I have to say, just because some people, in my experience, I've been exposed to people that hold themselves out as religious icons that don't have a clue, guys. They spout the words. They don't understand one thing. They have no concept of the unseen realm or their soul and what that is. They have no idea about the creator or what the creator really is. So for that reason, when they get on these rampages about religion, I can't take it. If it's a few things and they have real strong ties to something that's going on biblically, then yes, I see that, like I do the Hopi prophecies or any other historic wisdom. So I'm okay with that. It's just some of them have a tendency just to preach to you and not shut up. You know what I'm saying? And that really bothers me. South Park, yes. Looking for a man, bear, pig. Oh, is that it? Has an AI Gore looking for man, bear, pig. Okay, I didn't know that. I went to South Park one time. Did I ever tell you that? I used to date a guy in Colorado, and I drove. I told you last time I drove I think I told you or somebody that I drove my RV for 3 months around the U.S. and by myself. And I went to South Park. I had to see that. It's kind of cute. One little street. It was very cute. Trump Silent Running by Justin Belushi. Okay, that'll help. By Justin Belushi. And I don't sit, so that you guys know, I don't sit for, where did that go? Justin Belushi. I lost it. Patricia. What was it? Belushi? Like Tom Belushi? Oh, there it is. Justin. Yeah, Belushi. Like, not Tom, but Jim Belushi. Okay. Is the original. Okay. So there's apparently other ones, huh? Let's check it out. So here's what I do, guys. South Park is like The Simpsons. It's in our faces. It really is, isn't it? You know, I'm going to share this right now. This is kind of like a bonus thing for you guys that are so loyal and stick with me. Back when Dan was helping me with some videos that I did, I specifically wanted to do one on The Simpsons because I was watching, and The Simpsons seemed to reveal both sides of the coin, if you know what I mean. They revealed things that they shouldn't have known under the white hat scenario, and they also had dark things like Trump coming down the golden elevator. I mean, how in the world do you predict something like that? You've seen them. I know you have. So I saw something else there that I'm going to comment on. So I asked Dan about it. I asked Dan about specifically about The Simpsons and what was going on with it. And he said, you don't want to go there, is what he told me. Apparently, there is a fight for that channel. Somehow, for that content, there is a fight between the good and the bad in The Simpsons. And there's a power struggle there some way. So that's why I think we're seeing both sides. We see psyops, perhaps, that are happening. And we see, because I thought they were definitely white hat. I thought they were absolutely white hat by the things that they do. But Janet Oster something. Yeah, Janet O. She's the one with the Fall of the Cabal series. No, it's not Oswald. No, it's not. Janet, Fall of the Cabal, I'll tell you. Fall of the Cabal, it's Oster something. Fall of the Cabal. And she is unalived. Janet. I didn't come up with it. I think it's Osabard. Osabard. Remember that bard. She was a bard, guys. Osabard was her name. I did hear after she made the Fall of the Cabal, she went into hiding. We don't know whether she went. It was officially reported that she is dead. Let me just tell you what we know. Now, she may not be. I'm just going to the Wikipedia because that's the one that gives you the main scenario that they want you to know about something. Oh, except it's in another language. Well, and it's not coming up. Isn't that odd? So Wikipedia is not coming up, guys. Don't know what to do. At least not Janet Osabard's page. Who knows? If I have time, I might do some research into that. It's an excellent series. If you haven't seen it, oh gosh, I looked at it a long, long time ago. I've seen every one of them numerous times. And she really lays out all of the different control structures and how they interact is what I thought. Didn't you guys think that she specifically got into the specifics of what they control in the financial sector, what they, the Vatican and so forth. She got into it all. And so if you've never seen The Fall of the Cabal by Janet Osterbard, is that what it was? Janet Osabard, no T, Osabard. Then you really should look at it, guys, because it's not scary. It's not BS. It is absolutely the truth, and she may have lost her life over that series, or at least she's in hiding. Like, who's that other one? Kirsten, remember Kirsten W, I believe her name was, and she was connected to the Chinese elders, and she was blabbing a lot on them, and I think they did get her because it went where she flew to California for a talk of some kind. She immediately got sick, or she got sick or something, had sniffles or something on the plane. They took her to a hospital, and there were messages coming out of there to people that she knew on a cell phone saying, "Get me out of here. They're trying to kill me." And indeed, she died of COVID-19 on a respirator in a hospital in California for a quick trip that she flew there for. I think the Chinese took her out. But hopefully, we can only pray that they're all alive still, huh? Let's see. The Fall of the Cabal. You're right, Happy. It's a #1 wake-up call for anybody who's asking questions about what really happened with our 3D matrix. You're absolutely right. Cynthia Coder, her friend. Don't know her. What did Cynthia say? You got to give me more. I think they have been protected. She another one that, did Cynthia get involved? Did she say something about it? Don't know. She turns the entire corrupted deep state cabal system inside out. It's really, it's like a 9 or 10 part series, and it's really, really good, guys. Really good. It'll take a long time. She did a lot of hard work on that, and I recommend that you absolutely watch the Fall of the Cabal series if you can find it. I know it is on the other station, Rumble. I'm not sure if it's back on YouTube. It was, the Fall of the Cabal was removed from YouTube for some time. I remember. I couldn't find it on there. Let's hope they're protected, huh? Kristen W., she used to come on Michael Jaco's podcast a lot. Yeah, that's what supposedly happened, is that they killed her in the hospital, right? The Simpsons do know insider stuff. And that's why when Dan said that, which insider is it? It seems like the white hats have control of it, but they must have been infiltrated or something. I had heard many years ago that it was an operation by the white hats, a disclosure vehicle. And I had heard that a long, long time ago. But then when I asked Dan, and he said it goes back many, many years. And apparently there is a fight for control of that Simpsons series. Is it still on, guys? I think it is, isn't it? Let's see. Oh, Cynthia. So Cynthia is her friend that she worked together to produce the materials. Okay. Yep, time travel that's a good point. And remember that meme that I showed you last week that that it wasn't the one that Trump posted or truthed, but it was one that someone used to explain his meme. And it was all of these guys were hanging over the cliff. Remember that? Trump was saving Washington, and he was saving Lincoln. I think that's how it went. Remember, we looked at it last week, and it showed that and then his meme was about time travel. So it makes me think that, maybe they have visited Washington, President Washington, George Washington. Maybe they have visited Lincoln. We don't know these things yet, but it's very possible. Future proves past. Yep. The Mandela effect is messing with all of us with this erratic frequency fluctuation on the planet and the universe. Yeah, it is. It is. And there was something I was just reading about that too, but they didn't call it the Mandela effect. They called it something else. They say that Barron Trump is one of the biggest time travelers in the family, past and future. That wouldn't surprise me because, the young are being brought up with that in their mind. Remember, if his dad knew about this, he's been on it for a long time, right? No, it wasn't called a paradigm shift. You're right, Tony. Where we go one, we go all. There you go. Do some of those guys. Where we go one, where we go all, right? 100%. Finding my little buttons here. But yeah, it wouldn't surprise me because I'll tell you what. We went to a museum with my grandson, and they went into that whole, now it didn't work at Busch Gardens a couple of weeks ago. He couldn't figure out how to use it at Busch Gardens. But months ago, we went to some kind of museum somewhere, and they had the whole darn map again of where all the displays were on a code. So I couldn't do it, on the barcode. I went up to the lady there and I said, can you show me how to use this? I said, I can't do it. It's not working. I even have a barcode scanner, blah, 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 blah. And she said, I don't have a clue. She says, but you know what? You want to ask the boy there, because a lot of times they come in here and the kids seem to be able to get into them no problem. 2 seconds he was in it flat. So Barron is a little bit older, but if his dad was in on all this back then, he was raised to be a time traveler. I believe he was. Absolutely believe he was. All right, so we're slowing down there. We're pushing 3 hours, guys. Where we go one, we go all. All right, so let me just tell you, the next video that will probably be up is because I want to get it while it's hot. Susan, her helper is coming. Okay. I want to strike while the iron's hot. So we are doing the next one that I'm working on right now is Anthony Fauci and how he handled AIDS. And it was almost, guys, like the preview to what he did with COVID. So that's the next one. I'm going to try and get it up. I'm working on it. The script is still in progress. Human resonant frequency for the whole planet. Absolutely. Collective consciousness. You guys, all right, let's do it again. What we're going to do is we're going to use the love conduit. There's only a few of you on here before we leave, and we're just going to close our eyes. We're going to send love out to everybody. We're going to just imagine love, the feeling of peace, the feeling of integrity, the feeling of hope, joy, compassion, and love for all mankind is what's going to travel us and move us into the golden age. And right now, we are at peace, and we're sending those vibrations out to the universe. And so it is. Okay, guys, I love you. See you soon. Friday, 4 p.m. Don't know what I'll have. Depends on what's happening. If you got something, we've been here all afternoon. Yep, we have. We always are on this channel, aren't we? We always are. Thank you, Happy. Love you guys. Talk soon Friday. Bye, guys. All right. I got to figure this out. Bye.